long do you want?
All right. Everybody ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
Call the meeting to order at 5:01. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right.
Everybody's.
Well, 3.0 is to approve the meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Agenda's approved. 4.0 are acknowledgements and recognitions. We don't have any this evening. 5.0 is our recognition of visitors and community comments. Welcome visitors. Thanks for being with us here tonight for our November 2024 regular business meeting. For those of you in the room, hello. Those of you online, hello. Those of you watching in the future, also hello. Do we have any community comments? Nope, nothing signed up for tonight. Okay, so we'll move on to 6.0, which are reports. And the first one up is the principal report. Mr. Belangi, hello.
All right, hello, good evening, everybody. So business in school, Sawtooth, we have recognized now 48 students in the elementary school for representing junior Viking values. This month, we are focusing on the theme of gratitude in our elementary school. And so the students are writing slips of paper, things that they're grateful for to add to our gratitude chain that's going to be going down the hallway. It was really fun last week. On Tuesday, the big talk in the elementary school was the election, the Sawtooth Mountain Elementary Student Council election that happened on Tuesday. It was super fun to see 16 4th and 5th graders get up, give a speech to the entire student body, talk about issues that they identified themselves that were important to them with the school, and just do a fantastic job. So it was really fun to see those kids get up there, be brave, put themselves out there to be leaders in the school. And from those 16, 7 students were elected to the student council. This is the first year we brought student council back in a few years. So there's 4 5th graders and 3 4th graders on our Sawtooth Mountain Elementary Student Council. So that was just really fun to see those kids get engaged. And like I said, just step up and be leaders. In our middle and high school, it's kind of slow right now. On announcements today, I didn't have any announcements, which is weird. There wasn't anything happening. But we are in that transition season. Sports practices for winter are starting up. And next week, our 6th graders are going to be traveling down to the Twin Cities to spend a day touring the Capitol and then taking in Christmas Carol at the Guthrie Theater. And then we wrapped up our fall conferences this week, made a few minor changes, just placement of teachers. We had soup offering one of the nights for a fundraiser for the DC trip and got a lot of positive feedback on that. And then our Veterans Day Assembly was this Monday. And that was another great experience in our school. It was great to see the community come out, not just attendees, but participants in the band and helping our kids play music and sing. And we got to hear from Alex Gugala, who is the director at the YMCA. And I really loved his talk that he gave, especially for our kids. He focused on 5 big lessons that he got from being in the Marine Corps. Number 1, career and leadership development. Number 2, the experience of caring for someone before yourself. Number 3, how to love and work with people who may be completely different than you. Number 4, he said how not to sweat the small stuff and how not to sweat the big stuff. And then finally, just learning to love something with a passion. It was a really great chance for him to share his experience, share those values with our student body. And I thanked him afterwards. And I said, that was just a great talk to give to not only the whole community, but especially our kids in school. And then not next week, but the week after, we will not have school for students for Thanksgiving break. So, yeah.
And they have Wednesday off too.
Wednesday too.
Yes, sorry, I was thinking that Wednesday.
I just think that's nice to like say when you tell people that, because I
Yes.
think parents can overlook that Wednesday.
Yeah.
Totally.
So what is like a couple of examples of issues that are important to fourth and fifth graders?
Look, so pretty universally, all of them spoke to how they want Sawtooth Mountain Elementary to be a place that all kids feel like welcomed and included. They want to stop any bullying and that type of stuff. That was a pretty universal theme. Some of the other specific ones, there's great ideas on how we can do yearbook distribution and autograph signing better.
Okay.
Things like that came up through the speeches, so it was really fun to hear from those kids. But those, again, those were, they came up with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great.
So I'll point out to add to your report about the sixth grade trip down to the cities. This is be the second year in a row they've done that. Last year, the Education Foundation funded that trip. This year, I believe it's being funded by the Minnesota Historical Society and by Wise Women. Couple different grants, and Melanie Olson and Betsy Jorgensen are the two teachers that go the extra mile to get those grants, get the funding, plan the trip, and then spend like 16 hours with
4:30 departure, 10 o'clock return.
drive down, drive back.
Oh, yeah.
So
Amazing.
they are amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Kudos.
Wow.
Anything else?
Any other questions? No. Great. Well, thank you. All right, 6.2 is superintendent report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to just highlight for the board and for our public that at our next school board meeting, December 12th, we will have Michael Hart, probably streamed in from PMA, who will be walking the board through the process of selling the referendum bonds in order to capture that funding now that the bond referendum has passed. So at that meeting, there will be a resolution for the board to approve authorizing myself, with help of PMA and Teresa to go ahead and authorize the sale of the bonds.
PMA, the state?
PMA is a financial consulting
Oh,
organization. They're the people that really help Teresa greatly with managing cash flow investments of our resources when we have them. Actually facilitate the sale of the bond when we do that, and then facilitate all of the financing as the project unfolds. It's pretty, we had a little, not a 1 hour meeting with them earlier. Was that this week? I think it was. And they walked us through, you know, sometimes it's more financially prudent to sell the bonds in increments. So you're not paying interest on the debt, or all of the debt. But their recommendation in this situation, and you'll hear this in a month, is to sell all of them at once and then invest them until needed. And so it's a cost benefit analysis.
Another
Is that because the interest rate's high for getting more money?
He'll explain that in a month. You know, it's a balance between the interest rates you pay on debt and the rates you can
Right.
gain on investments. And so it's a calculation over time, and they're the experts, and we hire experts to help us with that.
so what is the investment in, like other bonds or?
We have investments all the time, so you can answer this better than I can, Teresa, but the Minnesota, help me.
Sorry.
Where we invest the account that we invest that in.
Oh, MSDA,
Yeah,
LAF, Minnesota. Oh, yeah, I know it.
it's an acronym.
LAF, yeah, sorry. But the fund, for instance, in January, when and he'll talk to that, Mike Hartwell, but like, people are paying back their bonds, and so then that money is liquid and they want to put that back into projects. So it's kind of like a cash flow on their end too.
Right,
Oh,
right.
interesting.
It's kind of like the same way banks borrow out.
Essentially. Yeah.
It's just extra zeros, it's just,
We're allowed to invest our money as long as we don't ultimately make profit.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So ultimately what your goal is to erase the interest we pay. And then that money comes back into the project. So he'll explain all that in a month. I wanted the board just to know that's coming. And so January or December, we'll vote to authorize it. And then in January, we will do it sometime in mid-January. He will tell us that early to mid-January is a really good time to go out and sell bonds because of the financial market and the way it plays out. In terms of other than selling the bond, some next steps, tomorrow I'm meeting with Lori from ICS to take a first look at the the agreement with ICS that will lock us in together. So that will likely also be on the December 12th board agenda, where we'll do that. And then they basically sub and hire the DSGW and then bid out for the general contractor and do that on our behalf. They represent us as the owner rep. So once those agreements are signed and agreed to, then they will appoint a construction manager who they've already got basically lined up. And then we will begin having meetings with them with our project oversight committee, relaunching that, getting that going again, meet with them, and then first order of business will be mapping out processes and timelines for input, stakeholder groups, design work, engineering work, assessments, all of that. That will occur between now and through the summer next year. I'm telling people really bluntly, there will not be dirt moving next summer. It's too fast. It's gonna take us several months to do the design and the engineering, and then it takes 6 months for open bids to go out and sealed bids to come back in. And so some things may start in the fall of next year, but they would be small things. The big stuff's gonna be summer 2026, summer 2027. Those are and the bonds, it's about a 3-year window. So by December 2027, we need to be pretty much wrapped up with the project. So kind of the timeline in your head, and Michael will walk through some of that, and Lori will walk through some of that in further detail in the near future. In my written report, I also included a little note about our task forces working on teacher evaluation systems. That's a must this year, and so they're meeting monthly. I'm attending some training on the principal evaluation system because that needs to change per statute as well. And then I, just for curiosity's sake, I stuck into my written report some numbers on meals served. I was asked by Boreal, because they were writing a story on how free meals has changed volume. So I gave Boreal the numbers. I thought, well, I'll give them to the board. You can look at them. It's kind of interesting how breakfast and lunches, at least in the month of September this year, really did jump up quite a bit. Likely as a result of free meals for all students. And because our food is good and there, a lot of good things going on there, but
Have they run that story yet?
Yeah,
they did.
last week.
I think it was
Did they?
last week sometime, yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Okay.
I think it was on the kind of the headlines of some headlines saying that that's over budget at the state level. And then, so what's it like at the local level? She was doing a little reporting.
Cool. Great. Any questions for Superintendent Lindholm? All right, thank you very much.
Now the fun begins.
Now the real fun begins, yes.
Yes, that's right. We have our student board report from Lexi Serba. The fun begins. Good to see you.
As Mr. Belangi said, our winter sports are starting up. Alpine and Nordic ski teams have started captain's practice in the last few weeks, and girls basketball actual practice starts this week, and the boys team for basketball just started captains. Envirothon Club also started up again recently, and they traveled to Wolf Ridge over the weekend for some team bonding and some lessons on the environment. And we have more members this year than ever, which is impressive.
How many? What's the number?
I don't know the number. I haven't been there because I was on a college visit, so.
How many teams?
I wanna say 5, but there could be more than that.
Wow, that is funny.
I don't know, but I saw how many people there were on like the.
Sure.
And NHS has officially started, and we inducted 10 new members into the chapter on November 4th. And that is Molly Coelho, Zoe Kukuris, MJ Wharton, Noah Smith, Claire Lindstrom, Greta Youngdahl, Ruby Gallstrand, Ben Fitzgerald Wells, Goshi Dimitrov, and Maya Rodriguez. So we're really happy to have them, and it was a great ceremony. They were all recognized for their responsibility and commitment to their academic careers and community. And our first official volunteer opportunity will be Empty Bowls today, which is from 5 to 7 p.m. And it's at Up Yonder. And a wonderful event to have the community come together for a meal and to raise money for and also today, NHS officials have been elected. Knut Remham is our vice president, Grace Blomberg is our president. Molly Quello is our treasurer, and I am the secretary. And we are looking forward to a great year full of helping the community. And that is all I have.
Nice. When you mentioned that for some of the winter sports, they're doing captain's practice, what does that mean?
It's like usually a week or two before actual practice starts, and that's when the captains of the team post their own practice without coaches. And so it's kind of just for like people to come, and it's completely optional as well. Like it's encouraged that you come and like kind of bond with the team and everything, but it's just kind of a more loosey-goosey practice where you aren't required to be there and it's not as long, and it's more of like just to get to know everybody and to, team building.
Yeah, high school league has strict rules on when coaches can start coaching.
Yeah.
So it's a violation to start early. So the players will organize a week or two ahead of time and get going.
Gotcha. So there's the season start kind of, kickoff. Yep, that makes sense. Cool. Any other questions for Lexi?
Lexi's got one more meeting.
That's crazy.
One
I didn't even think about that. I've been talking to the juniors about seeing who is interested in applying.
Good.
I don't have any set names yet,
All right.
so I'm hoping for at least one person.
Has the application gone out?
Yeah, Josh has pushed it out a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
I sent it to all the juniors, yes.
Junior class via
They all
email.
know.
Okay, I made a point to talk about it in our first official NHS meeting,
Perfect.
just to get like an idea of who's interested, but
And I think what was the application? Do you recall the application deadline offhand?
December
December 2nd.
second, I think. Yeah. I think that's a Friday.
Okay.
yep.
Cool. Well, thank you
Thank
for
you,
doing that.
guys.
And
Thank you so much. That is honestly like the hardest part about this is I can't use my hands.
Right?
Yes,
They're on the crutches.
yeah, my hands are on my crutches. Unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna go scoop soup.
Don't let anybody fall down those stairs.
Yeah, I will. I'm the best.
So I like.
Okay, 7.0 is our consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be pulled for further discussion? If not, we just need a motion.
Oh, there.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Carrie, second by Eric. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Consent agenda is adopted. All right, 8.0 are our discussion and action items. 8.1 is to accept the October 2024 expenditure and revenue report, which appears here in our packet. And Ms. Oberg is also here with us this evening. If there's anything you would like to point out or bring our attention to.
Not in particular.
This,
I'll make a motion to approve our expenditure and revenue report.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, 8.2 is to approve the fiscal 2024 audit. To accept the fiscal 24 audit and financial statements.
I'll point out for anyone listening that a week ago, the board had a thorough presentation of this from representatives from KDV Bergen, and spent a thorough amount of time going through the information. So and we've heard no questions since then. So I assume that questions have been answered, and I want to compliment Teresa and Kay and the staff that worked so hard to put the work in for an audit every year. It was as perfect of an audit as can be in a district our size, so. Well done.
I'll make a motion to accept the audit.
Second it.
Any further discussion? Yes, I'll second the thank you for all your hard work. And running a tight ship, keeping us in the black. Sure, love that. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
Stephanie,
Career advice by Steph. Yep.
don't set the bar too
Set
high.
the bar real low.
I'll run the race so fast.
Down, Teresa.
All right, 8.3 is to approve the resolution canvassing returns of the November 5th, 2024 special election. As presented here.
So in your packet, you can see the lengthy resolution walking through the vote totals for question 1, question 2, and question 3. We all know that question 1 passed and question 2 and 3 did not. And all the vote totals are in the resolution. This is, and then Kay will graciously take care of the clerk duties to get it sent in and all that kind of stuff.
I make a motion to approve the resolution canvassing returns of special election.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Resolution is adopted. All right. 8.4 is to approve the resolution canvassing returns of the November 5th, 2024 school district general election. Also in our packet, and this are the
Vote totals for
And then I-
for Terry and Quinn.
people. Yep, okay.
There's 14 write-ins. I'll
What a
make,
resounding mandate. Congratulations.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for canvass and returns for the general election.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Resolution is adopted. 8.5 is to approve the resolution authorizing issuance of certificates of election. As presented here. Oh,
Well, they break it down by person.
Since the motion hasn't been made yet, I just want to thank in front of all of you, Kay. Kay has done the webinars with MSBA, talked to the auditor's office, been in communication, gotten all these forms done. Ran over to the courthouse to get information, and I mean, just all the little things that are technically the clerk's duties, right? Kay's just taking it around, so thank you, Kay, for that.
Okay.
It's a lot of detail. It's just stuff,
mm-hmm. Do it right.
right?
All right, so we just need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Oh, I got 10 total votes. There it is. Found it. I even got a vote in your district.
I know.
So did Dean though.
This guy, yeah.
Dan Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, there was a smattering of people on that, weren't there?
I find it entertaining.
It is entertaining.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed? Resolution is adopted. Right. 9.0 are personnel items. 9.1 is to approve the new hires resignations, leave of absence as presented here.
So I'll speak to this. Susan Jervik was a candidate for the community ed coordinator position back when we hired Jens and Rena. She's a licensed parent ed educator. She's also taught ASL sign language for many years in the Eden Prairie District. She's a very well qualified academic educator, and they both, her and her husband, retired, settled into their place up here in Lutzen. And she wants to work and she loves kids and she's been subbing with us. She's just a ball of energy. So we needed a para in the ECFE arena to allow us to teach ECFE classes. And we also have an opportunity with a licensed parent ed person to teach ECFE parent ed classes. We haven't had a licensed person in that area in a long time. It's a very rare license. So this is a golden moment. This is a part-time position that's flexed. So sometimes she'll be working as a teacher. And then most of the time she'll be working as a para when she's doing that work. So she'll be paid out a couple different codes, a couple different pay rates. It's a part-time job, essentially. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
part-time,
lovely for someone who's retired,
right?
wants to work a little.
Yeah. And when Krista was here, we didn't have a person with a license. We would just kind of do wiggles and giggles in one room. This allows us to actually split up and do direct parent ed with a licensed parent ed teacher. It's great.
That's great.
My parents loved it. That's how I met Dan early.
Right. Yeah, we did that
So, yay.
for sure.
In ECFE classes with our kids.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Well,
The kids were in the other room. We were learning how to be parents.
Hendrick.
Still figuring it out.
Yep, basically every day. All right, so we just need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right,
Now.
we're adjourned 5:28. Good
Wow.
job, team.
Was the second?
Nobody seconded it.
I'll second.
Steph did.
Radloff finally gets on the sheet.
Feel like I did something.